Greetings and salutations. My name is O Callaghan. I am the children's and teen young adults book buyer for Easons, and I am here today to talk to our good friend and Uber author, Mr. John Boyne. And we're just going to have a quick chat about his new book, which he's going to tell you all about. So, first things first, the new book is a slight departure from the previous two children's books, which I would regard as kind of almost fairy tale Dahl-esque, and this is more back to the Boy and Striped. What made you decide from the humorous kind of quirky style to go back to more serious kind of topics?
Well, I don't think it's so much a decision that you make, it's
Yeah.
more that the idea that comes to you is the one that seems most powerful and the one that you want to write about. And I had written an adult novel called The Absolutist a couple of years ago, which was set during the First World War about conscientious objectors. And I had really become fascinated and slightly obsessed with the First World War, and I thought there was so many more stories to tell.
Yeah.
So when it came to writing a new children's book, I had this idea that was also set in the First World War, set kind of alongside that novel.
Yeah.
So it led naturally to a more serious novel than perhaps Barnaby Crockett, which is full of jokes and fun.
So, and again, with this book, Oliver Jeffers is involved, and
Yes.
I suppose a two-part question. One is, how did that even begin as a relationship from all the books? And then secondly, having done the previous two books, is he aware, like how far ahead does he know the style has changed now? He's doing, like, it's a beautiful jacket. I should have actually grabbed it and waved it, but it's a beautiful jacket. So how far ahead does he know that, you know, the style is changing and it's going to be a different type of book?
Well, I first met Oliver, I guess about 7 or 8 years ago, because Boy and Striped Pyjamas and Incredible Book Eating Boy came out around the same time, so we saw each other at quite a few events and hit it off and became friends. So when I wrote Noah Barley Water Runs Away, which the publishers said, you know, we'd like to illustrate this, he was my first call. I thought maybe he'd like to do it, and he read it and agreed to do it. So we did that, then we did Barnaby, then we did this new one, Stay Where You Are, and then I don't tell him too much too far in advance. You know, like we see each other maybe a couple of times a year if I'm in New York or he's in Dublin, and you know, talk about what we're working on. Yeah. So I give him a manuscript probably around the same time I give it to my editor. Yeah. But other than that, you know, he's so busy he probably wouldn't keep everything I'm telling him in his head anyway. So just when I have a book ready. Maybe
you can give him tips for his obviously Incredible Book Eating Boy has been made into a movie, so the
yeah,
whole movie, and how was actually that's just a spin-off, the movie adaptation of The Boy and Striped. How much involved were you in that, and how was the experience?
I was very involved because the director Mark Harmon kept me involved, which was unusual, I think. And I was out there on set, toured with them and everything, and I was really happy with it. You know, I think he did a really good job. I think it was the big difference between book and movie, of course, is that the book is all through the boy's eyes, and the movie is through the family. And I think that's kind of a sensible way to adapt it on screen. So I thought it was a really positive experience for me, and one I would definitely do again.
And I suppose final question, make it pretty short and snappy, is the adult books, your best-selling adult books versus your best-selling kids books. As you say, obviously what you're writing next, it just happens in a book. What's the main difference, other than the fact that obviously they're bigger and smaller, but how, like, writing style-wise and writing for you, what's the main difference between the two?
Well, this is actually something I've only recognised now, is that the adult books are all first person and the children's books are third person. That for some reason in the adult books I feel I need to get deep inside the psychology of a character and stay with one person all the way through. And with the children's books I feel I need a distance. You know, that I'm an omniscient narrator looking at usually an 8 or 9-year-old boy. But again, one of those interesting things about writing is that that's not something that I planned. It's more just something I now recognise. And somebody said to me recently, would I write a first-person book for kids? And I just couldn't imagine it. You know, I felt that would be very difficult for me. Whereas the third person feels comfortable. And in the adult books, the last certainly 4, 5, 6 novels I've written have all been first person. And I couldn't imagine myself going back to third. I don't know why it is, I have to actually sit down and analyse it deeply, but that's probably the main difference. Other than that, I mean, I don't change the language. I don't try to write in a simpler way. Yeah, they are shorter books, and they have a child protagonist as opposed to an adult protagonist. But other than that, you know, I don't have any different way of writing them.
Well, no, that's interesting because a lot of people think oh, it's a kid's book, you have to write it. But
Yeah.
I think most kids and some of the best writers in the world for kids, like Roald Dahl, they never treated people like kids. They just
Because I think that's the mistake that people could make,
Yeah.
is trying to write down or write simpler. And you don't have to do that. Let's assume that your readership are intelligent.
Yeah.
If they don't understand a word, they can look it up. You know, that's the way I approach it.
Excellent. Well, hopefully the book will fly off the shelves. Stay where you are, and then leave is available in Eason stores and online at easons.com. Thank you very much to Mr. John Boyne.